couple of things. If you look at what Shaden told you and showed you, you saw the growth, and you saw a lot of things that's happening in our business. I always ask this question, for folks in the room, how many have been in the wireless business 10 years? How about 20? Okay, so I've been 22. So when I started, penetration in the country was 4.5%, 5%. Right now, what's penetration today? It's 100 plus. We can debate, right? And as you saw, it's going to continue to go. The other point that's really a critical point for a company like AT&T, because Randall Stevenson, our chairman, started getting asked multiple years ago, how are you going to grow? Because the growth of AT&T, $130 billion revenue stream, is wireless. So if you're 100% penetrated, who are you going to sell to? And that's exactly why emerging devices is what we're talking about. And someone will ask me today, well, why now? What's happening? Why is it growing faster? And we'll be glad to talk about it. But really important is, this is, see, he had like the really boring chart, nothing. Yeah, it's nice. I got a chart with pictures. This chart is a lot. It's actually prideful to me because every device on this chart is actually an AT&T device. Like first time I ever spoke to you guys, which was multiple years ago, I showed a really cool chart. None of them are mine. You guys didn't know that. I didn't bring it up. Now these are all ours. These are all AT&T devices. And the fun part about this business and about emerging devices just means wireless enabling everything. You'll hear me say all the time, if it has current running through it, it'll be connected. And connected doesn't always mean to the wide area wireless network. It could be connected through Z-Wave and Zigbee and a lot of other technologies all of you know well. The point is, though, and the one point I'll make over and over, not connected, dumb. Connected, smart. That's the future. Okay, the future is smart devices, devices that can talk, devices that can help you do things better. And the point here is that the ecosystem you saw and what Shaden said is absolutely true. We're just scratching the surface of this space. We've done well. I'm going to show you a chart. It's my gosh, aren't we great chart, but more importantly, it just shows the opportunity to grow. So if you look at this chart, this is how emerging device started. If you don't know who Randall is, Randall's our chairman. Great guy. I'm supposed to say that. This is on the web. No, he's a great guy. But Randall was given a Kindle 4.5, 5 years ago. And that Kindle was actually on Sprint originally. And I give Amazon a ton of credit, and actually will give Sprint a ton of credit. And they created a new model, right? How many of you had a Kindle or have a Kindle? Okay, so you guys know that when we kind of stole that from Sprint, which I felt terrible about that. When we stole that from Sprint, we actually did a survey. Customers asked, said, what do you think? Why is it so cool? And honestly, they didn't even know it was wirelessly connected. They didn't care. The beauty of the model is people write in that, how does it look show up? It's magic. I don't really know. I don't care. It just works every time. That's where we got to get, where customers love the experience. And they did a wonderful job. What Randall did is start to ask simple questions at AT&T. He said, well, here we have smartphones going through the roof. We're very proud of our smartphone growth. But where's that next big thing? And when we did a lot of research, obviously a bunch of smart guys like Jaden did all the research, and they stood on my desk, and it was obvious the next big thing in wireless is wireless enabling everything. And that's how this group got started, and that was the place we were put. One thing that I do want to make a point, though, everybody looks at AT&T, huge company, behemoth, blah, blah, blah. I'll be glad to go sit down with anybody. Our innovation over the last 4 or 5 years has been phenomenal. I mean, Randall took a risk, put a full group on this 24/7, said, we're going to go for it. One of the things that I asked for is I wanted to be a startup inside of AT&T. All my own lawyers, I have to go fast to do business in this space. He gave me all that. Gave me the ability to do my own deals, which makes my CFO very nervous. Gave me the ability to have my own lawyers. Gave me the ability to move at the speed of small businesses like yourselves. And that has allowed us to take the lead we've taken in this space. It's allowed us to take risks. It's allowed us to fail, right? And at AT&T, and people go, fail. Oh, failing is great. Fail fast, don't do it again. That's how you learn. And so that's what we've done in this group. And I'm really proud of what my team's done. If you look at this, as Shane was showing you, we've got 16.3 million people paying us that are not a phone. Okay? And I think that's neat. Of course, my team doesn't hear me say that. I think it's too small. We got to grow faster. That's my job. We're number one in the U.S. We're actually number one in the world. Okay? We've gone out and taken a lead because we got on this thing early. We went in hard. And one of the things that was really important is we had success early. By having success early, it forced anybody who's going to do this to go, I don't want to talk to the AT&T guys and gals. We also went at this one really important way. We went at it with respect and integrity in the space, and that anybody who calls us, we talk to. One guy who has a great idea, and and want to start a new business, we'll meet with you. We've learned a lot by doing that. We've also gone fast. I've got my own labs, I've got my own CTO, we get things done fast, we certify very quickly. We want to be the easiest to do business with in the space, and that's how we've gotten here. Now, if I can show you my competitors' numbers, it'd be embarrassing, so I'm not going to show it. But I will tell you, though, when you look at these numbers, we are still simply just scratching the surface of what this space is. This is really, really in the infancy. So, what's next? It's usually the question I get, so Glenn, what's the next big thing that's coming? Tablets is obviously huge. By the way, does anybody know that tablets is the fastest growing consumer electronics device ever? Faster than smartphones. Right? Remember 2.5 years ago, when Mr. Jobs got on stage and launched the iPad, most of the analysts, I don't know what Shaden said it was going to go nowhere. And now all we want to talk about is tablets. The tablet space is just beginning. As we get into Q&A, if you want to talk Windows 8, I'll talk it all day long. Okay, people aren't giving our friends at Microsoft a lot of credit. They're building something I think is going to be real. E-readers, still real, right? People don't buy an e-reader because they want to multitask and do email and do all the things. They buy an e-reader because they want to replace a book. Okay, they want to get away from all the stuff that we do every day. E-readers are still going strong. Healthcare, late, long pole in the tent, going to be big. Going to be very, very important to all of us. The fact that we can get smarter, and many of you in this room are in that business. We're doing a lot with people all over the country, in fact all over the world right now, and this will be one of the largest spaces you'll see in the connected device space. Automotive, big space. Give you some quick stats. 260 million cars on the road, 5% are actually devices, which means they have a connection that's bolted into the car. They have a SIM bolted in. Okay, 5%. If you ask smart guys, they'll tell you it's going to be 70, 80% that will be coming off the line that will be a device. Okay, you all saw Verizon made an acquisition. You see a lot of movement happening in the space is because it is a ripe, very, very exciting space. And I actually would argue that down the road, it's about 5 years, every car will be smart. And will do a lot more than your cars do today. Last point, home automation. Important point because we're starting another new business. And I'm fortunate enough to lead that business, and that is our digital life business. So let me ask a quick show of hands. How many of you have an alarm system in your house? How many of you know if it works or not? Don't laugh. I've had one for 22 years, and my wife thinks it's really good. We turn it on, turn it off. Never gone off. I have no idea if it works. I write a check. It's great, right? The alarming world is an old school world. Largest player has 6 million subs. That's it, right? 20% of Americans have some sort of alarm in their house. So you kind of start looking at industries that are adjacent to ours, industries that are ripe, industries that are a bit splintered, and you kind of dig in. We've been looking at this industry for about 3.5, 4 years. We made a decision to dive into it. We bought a small company called Zambu, who had what we believe to be the best IP and platform, and we've taken them and scaled them. And so we announced this in Barcelona. We have an international strategy with this. We're going to license this out to whoever wants to buy it. Lots of people interested. And then we announced a CTIA that we're going to launch this in the US. We're going to launch the first all IP end-to-end security and automation business in the US. Okay? Think about this. So we're going through UL certification to do security in this world. Number one, you have to have approval from every state, very hard, and you have to go through UL. UL is never certified in all IP network because what's in your home today is analog. And by the way, they drilled holes and did all that thing. What we're going to do is bring new technology from end to end. The controller in the house, which you can see there called digital life controller, is all wireless. Every device in your home will be all wireless. Installation will be much more simplistic. If you have a current system, I'll bring this little thing called a takeover module, and we'll use all you have and add all the automation on top. So if you look at this, our goal is to actually bring at a very, very, very competitive price a complete leap forward in technology in the home. We also believe, by the way, this connects very nicely because this platform we're building, that's all IP, we're also going to build an application, or we're going to build a face, a window into your life that you'll have on your tablet or your smartphone or whatever device you want to look through that window. And if you look up in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see that we're going to connect all these devices that I've connected. Once they have digital life software put in and they connect with the platform, you can connect your whole life in one place. And then you would control your life. You would control what you want to do in your home and out. The goal here is to give you peace of mind, right? The goal here is that you can be home when you're not. Okay? So if you look at this, room, we are all kind of geeks, right? We all like shiny objects and we get excited. For the mass out there, this makes them very nervous. So when you start in an industry from scratch, one thing I've learned from my 7.5-year relationship with Apple is people who can take a very complex thing and make them simple, it's very hard to do. I promise you though, when you see this, you'll be blown away at how simple the interface is. We want 5-year-olds and 95-year-olds to be able to use it. That's the goal. And that will allow you to control programs and alerts and, again, control your life and aggregate it all together. So, thank you for the time. It's always fun to talk to this group, and we'll do some Q&A in a minute.